So now it brings me great joy to introduce our spoken word poet with Stedmond Pardy. He is self-educated. He is a left-handed poet, and therein ends his bio. And thank you very much.
On tranquilizers, your astral body shoots up out of the soil as a blade of grass in a vast garden, prompting me to shout, "You are the earth, and you are. Aren't we all? Your rare baby blue, armored, tank of a body becomes an immense ocean full of captainless ships. Conspicuous pickpockets drinking calculated water, a person in the latter stages of Alzheimer's, rediscovering their forgotten lives via photo. Police provocateurs are laced throughout the peaceful protest where the computer-generated image of a young Marlon Brando is randomly gifting 1,000 cheap thrills consummating in a raw instant. A flower. As people of all races and creeds fly across the triangular canvas of the star-wealthy sky. So why terrorist cells of proud parents surveilling an organization of babies, making snow angels in the shifting, garbage-littered sand? No lifeguard is on duty, ladies and gentlemen. No sunsets and no sadness born of joyous evenings are teasing lucky arcs of visual light. No hidden owl's crystal eagle. No embarking upon the soundless foam cockpits moaning pilot stately. Disembodied voice of liquid, speckled, philosophic stone. Arising from out of the tender, sealskin boats of our cold gray sailors' incestuous mother awed by our one-color painting. At the center of the edge, the dead coarse peasants rebel Chinese along the river, laborers, millions. Only the vampires escape black country rock unscathed. The tigers are disappearing from the sleepwalking, chainsawed forest. They say the famished tigers are disappearing from the sleepwalking, chainsawed forest. Their oysters have been drained, and the beach dolphins and whales, alas, are on their way to brunch. A brown, miniature, sex-reversed, undernourished Mustang is galloping triumphantly out of the pink, idiolated, swan-infested sea. It's time to do what loyal followers do when they find out their beloved leader is wrong. It's time for armies to French kiss, foam flung. From a deep ship's voice, new kingdoms for haggard pariahs like me to seek. New ways to manipulate public opinion to accept the agendas of the ruling classes. Fresh symbols, new ways to burn out. New raptures to defy the thine body drifting toxic clouds of volcanic ash. The sound of the lone loon singing instant gratification. The sound of the lone loon singing instant gratification across the fake lake. Competitive food eating contests being held in this world where billions are starving. Revel bacchanalian. Mock funeral. Thank you. I was going to read stuff that was a little heavier, but then after everyone saying that the stuff they were reading was dark, I'm going to try to read something a little bit uplifting. And since the man who helped give me my start in poetry is actually sitting in the front row right here, I'll have to read this poem that gave me my start. And I also need to thank Lisa and the other performers. Everyone here it's a tough act to follow. This poem's called A Free Jazz Poem for Joan Baez. It feels as if I knew you in a past life. You could have been my sister, enemy, lover, mother, ruler, girlfriend, or wife. All I know is that you're definitely a kindred spirit. But I can't remember us and our families dying from the plague, us being crucified upon the most crookedest of crosses, pouring ourselves on the cobblestone streets of Malostrana, Prague. I don't remember the love and stimulating pain that we experienced outside the Dali Museum in Figueras, Spain, witnessing the tomato and bullfights through the eyes of a drugged and drunken baby's brain, clay labyrinthian coffin, green chrysalis black, the mysteries at Eloisis, facing the firing squad on a warm summer night, walking a radio around a strangled stick, the Garden of Eden, the black-hooded executioner's shiny axe, at the haunted Tower of London, concretizing liquid, wet leather, Arquetabassus, wordless poems, us having blonde hair and blue eyes while living in Helsingborg, Sweden, the torture chambers of Venice, and the Middle East, us devouring bootleg liquor, non-hallucinogenic roots and berries, beaming up to an inaccessible land of Bergemirs, Asuras, oceanids, and fairies, while picnicking in Central Park, New York, in the 1320s, hiding from the pork, moments of realization, really divining what sits on the other end of that fork, me telling you, if anything were to happen to me, or if I was to go, don't forget me, Joan Baez, because even if I was trapped in the advanced stages of Alzheimer's, there's no way I could ever forget about you and our time as dinosaurs, leopards, insects, snakes, birds, foxes, sloths, elephants, butterflies, penguins, Neanderthals, bacteria, trees, and fish, and the extended time we spent as coyote-wolf hybrids and the dying kid's wish. You can't even remember rogue zookeepers in Auschwitz, Mesopotamia, the floating world of Japan. When the black ships came, the Rujit liqueur, mists invading our ravaged forest, and the exploding plastic inevitable, you can't remember red clouds, orange skies, silver waters, black sand, gold moons, us being lynched by the Klan, crossing the Bering Strait, walking the plank, the basement of Studio 54, African tribal drums whipping us and our now extinct tribe into shamanic ecstasy. As celebrations of prelogical existence, Thelonious Monk, Schubert, the Vile Tones, Duke Ellington, the Stooges, the Doors, and Sonic Youth live in the flesh, Mark Brown, Brandon Pitts, Nick Beat, the Lonely Vagabond, everyone gathered here today, and the Renaissance of the 2200s, the Resistance, the Human Being of 1967, Pink Floyd's Games for May, and that awkward life when I was the woman and you were the man. We've existed as casualties of the subhuman psyche since the very beginning of the idea of time. I have already squandered the platinum of our youth in this life. What do you think I'm going to do to the blood diamonds of our future? I can clearly remember the nebulous vistas of our lunar Earth, us self-exiling ourselves along the seashores of that other world, studying the heraldry of Finfolk. David Bowie and Nine Inch Nails touring together in 1995, the St. John, St. Vitus Dancing Mania 1518, you dating Steve Jobs and Bob Dylan, and you locking arms with me after your performance at Roy Thompson Hall. Thank you. I have two more short ones. I guess this one's not that happy. I was working at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair, and they put me at a cage beside the fair's grand champion. And when this incident happened, I kind of knew I had a poem on my hands. I'm not going to move around too much. Just it's called Last Shift at the Royal. Projecting myself into a soundscape more beautiful than your ideal lover's soul. During my last 12-hour shift at the Royal Agriculture Winter Fair, I stood, stroking the forehead and back of a tender black cow, the fair's grand champion, as it licked poignantly my palm and wrist. In the roaring silence of the late Saturday night by its cage, vowing never again to gnaw, bite, chew, devour, congealed, fear, vowing chaotically to be the unwavering, undefeatable champion of the veggie burger, the robust, charismatic missionary of beefless steak, until a passing, drunken farmer, smirking cruelly to himself at the sight of us, informed me that my new buddy would be available for purchase at my local butcher shop or supermarket by the start of the week. Thank you. It hasn't turned me vegan yet, though. that was pretty close. All right. This is just a mission statement. Why write and choose to go through this and be a practitioner of the least lucrative of the arts? When I was on the radio, the guy who gave my start asked me, so why poetry? He doesn't get you girls, doesn't get you any money, so why do you do this? I was like, yeah, I don't really have a choice. It pounced on me like Bela Lugosi jumping out of his coffin on someone. I saw that. All right. Sectarian death squads wandering the deserted desert of a crackhead's pipe dream, who can turn vinegar into your favorite wine and contaminated water into champagne. I can transform your ills into awes like a strong Germanic king. For you, I'll survive being taken for a ride by a burly Calabrian hitman with piercing gray blue eyes, jet black hair, and a high-pitched falsetto. For you I will race, sprint through a swarm of enraged African bees, and emerge unstumped for you. For you I will superglue my stacked deck of upturned cards onto every smashed glass table, and wear my liquid skeleton outside of my soft skin like a twin crab scuttling indirectly toward its goal, which lays directly ahead of it. I'll rip off your blindfold, made of wool, and remove the muzzle from your mouth, and tear up that stale book of old rules. For you, I'll free the imprisoned goldsmith, and cook every sacred cow, and golden goose, and wake the sleeping giants, and dogs where they lay, if I must, and bear witness to the penultimate truth, and beat a few Kenyans and Ethiopians in a long-distance marathon. For you, I will face the discordant music and evade the dissolution. For you, I'll confide my secret belief that when Salvador Dali died, he became again our supreme ruling deity, which explains why our world is the way it now is. For you, I will shine a harsh, unbearable light upon everything that has ever been lost and forbidden, bidden, burnt, hidden, and reveal the hoarded, esoteric wisdom of the ages, and unbag the legendary cat. I will shed the white blood of my soul to give you the skeleton key and the whole, unexpurgated hog. I will risk life, limb, love, sanity, poverty, health, and reputation, and pay the steep price in order to grant you a precognitive glimpse, a bald, mechanical eagle's eye view of the things to come, and conjure something new. You have no idea what I'm willing to put my nervous system through. The perilous journeys of Enoch, Dante, Ulysses, Kevin Garvey, and every romantic, swashbuckling hero and human-headed bird, bringing us the broomstick of the wicked witch of the West, can't hold a snuff-bloody candle to what I've been through and will continue to go through to earn your love, and conjure something new. Thank you.